Hi, welcome back to Hungarians in the Kitchen. And this is my mom, Marta, and me. We're both from the old country, as we say it.
Yes.
And except I don't have the accent, but you do.
I have,
so
yes.
Beautiful accent. So today we are making lecho, and it's one of our favorite kind of end of summer meals that uses the harvest of the green peppers and the tomatoes and onions. And so if you have these growing in your garden, it's just a great, easy, simple dish, and one of our favorites with our children as well.
How many? This year. This
Yes.
is the fourth. I think I'm bringing.
So how many plants did you
day.
plant? How many?
I have
peppers?
like 6.
Okay, so from green, 6 peppers.
But it's different type of peppers.
Different varieties.
Yes.
But we have probably made either 4 or 5 lecho for our family, and then
Yes.
you've made I don't know how many.
I made mine too.
So yeah, it's such a great dish,
Yes.
and a wonderful way if you're
Simple.
gonna plant peppers, plant more than you think you'll need, because you can always make lecho. So we're gonna double the recipe today. And so just know for yourself, if you only want half of it, look at this amount of peppers and know that you'll want about half of that. I haven't weighed those peppers, but it's not a science, because I put more tomatoes, sometimes less peppers.
Exactly.
So this is that kind of a meal. So we're going to go ahead and
if you have sausage at the end.
You got to have sausage at the end. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So, in looking at some of the vegetables that are just coming off the vine, I'm noticing this tomato, which you would never see a tomato so like this in the stores.
No, but I took it because nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Split because of the
split.
heat.
I mean, if you wanted to, you can just cut a little bit off.
Yes.
But, and obviously, core the inside of it. But this is just a great meal, again, for those tomatoes that you think, oh, I can't use it for anything. Use it for lecho.
Yes.
Now, there's another interesting thing you said, too, about the peppers. Let's talk about these different peppers, because there are some different varieties.
Okay. Here, this is a cubanelle, they call it here.
Okay.
But in Hungary, in New York, they call it Italian pepper.
Okay.
In Hungary, they call it like a lecho pepper, because this is a good size of pepper to cut it. And they have this color, and they have the light color, the same shape. Okay. So
when you bought the actual plant to plant it, it was called cubanella pepper?
Yes, here they call it cubanella.
And then when you bought because you can't buy this in stores here.
No, they call Hungarian banana pepper.
Banana pepper,
yes.
Okay. And it's, again, none of these are spicy. So.
No, it's not spicy.
And then is this like a bell pepper, but just smaller?
Yeah, this I didn't wait. It's supposed to be red.
Okay.
It's gonna get red like maybe 2-3 weeks, but I said, let me just bring it so it's different pepper.
And then I see yellow pepper and red pepper that you can probably also get from the grocery store.
Yellow pepper, and then this is the blue pepper.
Okay.
The more variety in a lecho, it tastes even better.
Yeah, the deeper the flavor, I would imagine. So let's say you don't have a garden. Let's say that you don't have a farmer's market nearby. In the grocery store, can you make this just with the green bell pepper and with the red bell pepper?
Have the red, the yellow, and the green.
Okay. So if you were to do it, it would really be best to get one of each, at least, one of each color to give it a deeper flavor.
Yes.
Okay.
In the winter time, that's what I do.
And then these onions we just got from the store because we didn't grow them this year. And onions are a great thing to have, and I think we use probably...
The more onion you put, the lecho tastes better.
That is the secret.
Yes.
All right, so we've cut most of the peppers, and we're going to cut some more so we can show everyone how thick they are and a little bit about the seeds. We've cut up also some of the tomatoes. But let's first start with cutting the onions, and then we can also talk a little bit about maybe the history of lecho.
Oh, okay. You just cut like this. You don't have to cut it.
So very thin,
really
half
like
moon
this.
shape.
Yes.
So not crisscross.
No.
Okay.
Just like this.
So when you think about lecho and you think about starting to make it, or how old were you when you first remember eating it? It's just...
Oh, we ate lecho many times, but when my sister and me, we want to surprise mother if she went someplace. So we just want to surprise her for dinner that we put together a lecho.
Yeah.
And she liked that.
Well, and it's really easy. It's you're just cutting up vegetables, and there's really not much to measure. In terms of what we're doing this with now, we put it in some oil. We have used 4 tablespoons of oil. If I were just to make one batch of it for one evening, then it would just be about 2 tablespoons of oil. So this really is, you have it a lot in the summer, and how about during the year? Do you have it throughout the year?
Well, now you can have it here because you can find the ingredients, but over there in Europe when we grew up, it was basically a summer dish.
Okay, because you couldn't find peppers necessarily at other times.
It was not that many people with the greenhouses or stuff like that.
So really, but now here in the United States, because you can get peppers, you know, we get peppers imported from different countries throughout the year. It's something that you can have really throughout all year round.
Yes, definitely.
So
you just want to have like a very fast dinner, you know, you just make lecho.
So once you make it, what do you serve it on, if anything?
Well, you can have it with bread, definitely with the bread, but you can have rice. What I do many times that I cook some potato and separate. I cook the potato, and when the lecho almost ready, then I just pour the potato into the lecho. So then I don't have to have the bread, I can just have the potato.
Sure. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mix it. So we've cut all the onions up and it's sautéing, and we'll add some additional items into it once it's, as my mother says, nice and yellow.
Yes.
Now with the peppers, why don't you show us about how thick you like to cut that?
I like to cut like this.
And a serrated knife really looks like much simpler. And it doesn't look like you're removing the seeds, or do you?
For those, I don't remove the seeds.
For the little banana peppers, you don't remove it?
Yeah, and the seed basically, while the lecho cooking, it just kind of disappears.
Okay.
But this has a larger one, so that's where I'm taking it out.
Sure. So, you know, when we make lecho, we always serve it over white rice.
Yes.
But I know that white rice wasn't a traditional, food in Hungary.
We basically ate it with bread.
Okay.
It was very simple.
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
Bread.
Growing up.
Yeah.
So this is a really
interesting
purple pepper. This is, I think, pretty seasonal because it has kind of a thin skin. Does it taste like a bell pepper?
A little bit, but not exactly.
Let me taste it. It is really good.
Yeah, it's a good pepper.
Well, what we're going to do now is have you look at the onions, because I think it's ready. So the onions, as you can see, have been sautéing for about 7 to 8 minutes, and they are nice and soft and yellow and just perfect to receive all of the peppers that we'll pour in. And you'll want a pretty big pot if you're making a lot of it, like we are.
It's gonna shrink, but right now we need a big pot.
Look at all those beautiful colors. And are we gonna cook this with the cover on? for a little bit?
Yes, because we wanted to make it soft. And we can put salt now.
And so
I'm just bringing up from the bottom, I'm bringing up the onion, and we can lower this.
So we've had it on medium, and now we're going to lower it to just a little bit under medium.
Yeah, we don't want to burn it from the bottom.
And we'll start with 1 teaspoon of salt.
Yeah, you can put another one.
Okay. Again, keeping in mind that this is for a double batch.
Yes. Okay.
So now we'll go ahead and cut up the tomatoes, and you core all of them?
I just cut
You cut around the core?
around. Yeah.
Okay.
Because this one has a kind of large one, like this.
Okay.
And I just do like this. And then,
So it's like dicing them a little bit?
yes.
Okay. So when we put the pepper in first, and we always
And we
put
wait
the...
until the pepper goes down in the pot, gets softer. And
Before we put in the tomato?
before we put in the tomato. Not all the way. It doesn't have to be cooked all the
Sure.
way because it has to cook together with the tomato. But probably in about 10-15 minutes we can put the tomato in.
So you put in the pepper, about 10-15 minutes later you can add the tomato. So, I don't know, I can't help myself, but this is how I always take the top off.
That's
So
fine.
however you do it is fine with
Yes.
lecho.
Yes.
Doesn't seem like there are many rules with this meal.
No, not really.
I like that kind of meal.
Yes.
Too many rules just makes it like, oh my gosh, just like another have to with this.
We put the tomato, we wait another 10 more minutes, and then we can put the sausage in there.
Okay.
The sausage has to also cook a little bit together.
Now,
Not-
was the sausage something that you always make it with, or is it just an
No,
extra?
That's just an extra. That's
Okay.
a fancy thing.
Okay. So if you have sausage, great. If you don't, it's
Fine.
It's fine.
Very end, we put the eggs.
At the very end, right before you're about to serve it.
Yes.
And you scramble it in.
Just scramble, yes.
Which will
and-
show you how to do that as well. But I was thinking for a summer potluck, like if you wanted to bring a vegetarian, gluten-free, dairy-free dish, this would be a great potluck dish.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much
Yeah.
of what we have
And then
abundant.
you can have it with the bread. You can just soak it in, and the bread tastes so good with that, lecho taste in it.
I'm getting hungry.
Yes.
All right, so we'll wait for 10 minutes and put that in.
Yeah.
So it's been about 15 minutes since we put the peppers in, and as you can see, it has beautifully
Went down, really went down.
cooked down and is beautifully soft. So now it's ready for the tomatoes. And we stir that in. Now, do we put any actual ground pepper in here?
Yeah, you can put, sure. Yes, good taste.
Just a few.
Okay.
Stir that one in. And now we cover it again and wait another 10 minutes before we add in the sausage. And we're cooking this on low to medium heat.
Yes.
So while the tomato's cooking down, we could talk about the sausage. Again, if this is the vegetarian option, you wouldn't want to use it, but we like it. So normally we have been using a horseshoe sausage. It was a sweet sausage, and our local co-op is not able to carry it at this time. So we looked and found a Borsellino salami. It has a little bit of fennel. There was another flavor too, but we're going to try this one and see how it tastes. Now you wanted to say that the sausage has to be cured sausage.
Right. It cannot be the soft sausage. It
Right.
has to be
The
cooked
raw.
first, and then it has to be like a dry sausage.
Sure. And then why don't you show us kind of the thickness that you like? It's not very thick.
No, it's not too, not like your hair, you know, like, because then it just disappears into the lecho. But,
True.
you know, this way you can just put it like that.
Let me try that. So when you were growing up, did you usually have sausage in your lecho?
Yeah, many times, because, you know, we kill the pork every year, so we had the sausage, the kolbász in Hungarian, which was smoked, and so...
So did you have those hanging in your pantry?
Oh, you believe
my goodness.
it? You believe that it was, and that our pantry smelled so good. It's not just a sausage; it was the bacon hanging, and well, after it was standing in a salt, after I don't know, I don't remember, a week or two, I don't remember. But then we had like a little wood house in the back of the garden, and that was the smokehouse. And every day, every morning, we had to take out the sausages and the bacon and just hang it up over there, and it's a very low. It basically just smoke. And at night we had to take it back because we didn't want the cats to get in there or other animals.
Sure.
That's how we did our own smoke.
And so you smoked it for a couple of weeks or so?
Well, my mother knew how. I don't remember the time, how long it has to be, but you know, the bacon, basically, that it gets a little bit brownish. So then we knew that's probably it's ripe, you know, it's ready. We just hang it up in a pantry like that.
All of these lost.
We just went with a knife and then big piece of onion, and that's how we ate it.
Wow.
Bacon and onion, that's, you know, the Hungarian farmers, that was their basic meal, bacon and onion.
So we're going to then wait until we put that in, and we'll see what the tomatoes look like.
Yes.
Okay. So it's been 10 minutes now, and it's gotten nice and soft.
Yes.
And we'll go ahead and pour all that sausage in. Now the sausage is not very salty, we've noticed, and so we may need to add a little bit more salt at the end. We'll have to see. And we're going to let that cook for another
10-15 minutes.
10-15 minutes.
Yes.
All right, and covered?
Yes, covered.
Okay.
Yes.
So we keep the nice sauce and flavor in.
Yes.
And the last part that goes in a lecho are eggs.
Right.
Now, are eggs something kind of like the sausage that you can decide not to put in, or it really is part of the recipe?
I think it's a good finish for the lecho.
All right.
You know.
So
if you are that poor that you cannot have egg, then you don't put egg. You can still eat the lecho.
I'm not thinking of poor. I guess I'm just thinking of people who are vegans, who don't even eat eggs.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking that way back in the communism over there, you know, when you have to stay online to get a dozen eggs.
Sure. So if you're vegan, you're a little out of luck, but most people are not. So eggs are a great source of protein, and we scramble them in, and so we'll want to go ahead and take them first and mix them all together before we pour it in. And whenever possible, you should be getting eggs that have been grown without any hormones and antibiotics and our local.
Yeah. But the thing is, can you smell the lecho already? Because I can.
Yes, I can smell it. It smells amazing. And we're about 3 hours away from dinner, so that's a little bit of a problem here. What I was going to say about the eggs is that because they cook so quickly, it really is something that has to go at the very end.
Definitely.
You have to have your vegetables already cooked because you don't want to overcook eggs in it. They'll be really dry.
Can I check?
Just going to check. And then we'll show you if it's ready.
About 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and show you what that looks like. So we're going to go ahead and take a look and see, and it looks like the peppers are soft and everything is cooked. Let me lower this for just a minute, and then now we're going to go ahead and add our eggs. And we had a lot of peppers when we put it in. It was up to here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was this high, That's why when David asked me which pot we're going to use, I said we have to use a large pot because even though it goes down after, but in the beginning it's really...
Yeah, and this is an 8-quart pot. So if you can probably do a smaller pot if you're not doubling the batch. But you see how nicely the eggs cook.
And we had to take our time because it has 4 or 5 different peppers in there. So the thicker the pepper, the wall, it takes longer.
So this dark one is one of the ones that took the longest. And the red, but these banana peppers, you can really see the difference, how soft that is. So if you're just going to use the banana peppers, you can probably do this very quickly in 25 to 30 minutes.
You see how the seeds have disappeared?
Yeah, you can't see the seeds at all.
Right.
And it really
but the flavor is there.
So it's like chicken bones, as you were saying.
Right.
Wonderful. Well, so now normally we would take some out and serve it on a bed of rice. But since that's a couple of hours away, we're just going to go ahead and turn it off, cover it, and it'll just be splendid for dinner tonight. Well, we are back now. The lecho is finished and the rice has just cooked. And I served it on a plate. And we have one taste tester that's been eagerly waiting. And our other taste tester, unfortunately, is sick. But you're ready, right? So why don't you go ahead and taste and tell us what you think? Of course, she always goes for the sausage first. Go ahead and get some peppers. Every last little bit goes in the mouth.
I love it, Mommy.
I know, you do love it. And this is one of these meals where the plates are completely finished, right? You usually eat every last morsel. You can use a spoon. So the sausage is kind of a winner in this. But they do eat the peppers and the tomatoes, and then you can hardly even see the tomatoes. So if you have kind of finicky eaters, yeah, I mean just the small red pieces. Here, have another bite with some yellow, yummy peppers.
That's good, Mommy.
And there we have it. Bon appetit.